I often go all out for my makeup because in my heart I'm an artist. But when I look at you, I already see so much beauty. Somehow makeup has gotten a negative connotation in our society, but I see it so differently. Makeup is not just lipstick colors and eyeshadows. It's confidence. It's the way you look into your mirror and you realize you're beautiful. I wish you didn't need the makeup to see it, but at least you know it's there. So put on your eyeshadow and your favorite lip color, but remember that this life is not a beauty competition. That pigment in those products does not define your worth. What matters is the light and the love in your heart. Outer beauty fades, but you can't dim the shine of a beautiful heart. From the start of my YouTube channel, I've always said everyone is beautiful, and makeup enhances that beauty. So today, I'm going to show you exactly how, and throw in a couple of my tips and tricks, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off by just moisturizing my face, and then I'm going to take a beauty blender and apply a CC cream all over my skin. Apply it in light layers, and then that will create a nice natural effect. Remember to bring it down the neck and apply it in the center of the face and bring it outwards. Then I'm going to go ahead and work on my brows, and I'm just going to fill in the sparse areas with a pencil. I like to work on the outer part of my brow first and then go on to the inner part, and I just like to follow brow hairs just to keep it very, very natural. Use spoolies to help blend it out, and then take a concealer to just clean it up. That really helps make the brow look a little bit more neat and just keep the line as straight as possible. I'm also going to take some foundation and put it on the inner part of the brows, and this way it just has a nice fade, and so it looks kind of ombre and a lot more natural than what it would have been. Then I'm going to take a concealer and some powder, and there you go, you just primed your eyes. You don't even need to use a primer. It's beautiful. And I'm taking this Pacifica palette right here and taking this matte kind of grayish brown, and I'm going to apply that into the crease with a nice fluffy brush. This is going to help just define our crease slightly. We don't really need too much color, but it will help with the fade of next colors that we're going to be using. Then I'm going to take the Solar Complete Color Mineral Palette and grab that nice pink right there. It has really nice reflex, so I'm going to apply that in areas where I want to highlight. I'm going to apply that under the brow bone and just take that brush and blend it away with the brown shade we just applied. Now I'm taking a nice navy blue, and this one is actually going to be the majority of our shadow in this look. And I'm going to start kind of buffing it in on the outer part of the eye, working it towards the center of the crease and then into the inner corner, but very, very lightly. And then we're just going to do the same thing onto the other eye. Again, remember, we're packing it in, we will blend it out a little later. Now I'm going to take a nice tapered blending brush, and using circular motions, I will go ahead and blend that towards the outer part of the eye. Remember to use circular motions, and whichever direction you want the color to go, just make the circle in that direction. I'm going back in with the nice brown shade, and I'm going to apply that right on top of the blue just to kind of help the fade. This is a really nice trick that you can do to make your eyeshadow a little bit more blended. I'm going to go in with the purple right there and just buff that into the outer third of the eye. I really wanted this to be kind of the deepest color in the look, and I'm just going to make sure I buff that in and then just pat it in with a nice kind of tapered blending brush. By tapping it, it'll make the color a lot more pigmented rather than just buffing it around the eye. Then we're going to go in with a nice peach shade from the Solar palette, and again, I like to put my inner corner and like the center of the eye colors with Fix Plus just to make it a lot more pigmented and a lot more shiny. And then I just pack it on all over again and buff it in with that purple because I like that gradient where it goes from purple to peach without looking too harsh. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye, again using Fix Plus or a setting spray or something along those lines. It'll help make the color a lot more intense. And then I'm going to again buff it in and then take a tapered blending brush, and if you shift it this way, you can use the tip to darken up the crease, but the sides of the brush will actually help fade the color out as it goes closer to the brow. Now I'm just going to be using a concealer to, conceal my under eyes because this girl doesn't really sleep that much. And we're going to go in and blend that out with our beauty blender because it is my favorite way to apply concealer. Now I'm going to actually go ahead and set that with a powder using a nice big brush. You don't have to do this, but it's totally optional. I'm going to take that same color and apply that in the inner corner to just highlight the eyes. I think that highlighting the eyes is really, really important in the inner corners. It really helps kind of brighten up the eye look. I also decided to put this a little bit on the center of the lid. Now I'm taking this nice bronze color and applying it on the lower lash line. I'm going to really just buff that in to make sure that that color creates a little bit of warmth because we have been using relatively cool shades on the upper part. And then I like to take a brush like this and use the side of it to actually buff it out and really fade it. Now I'm taking a gel liner just because I really love gel liner currently and I'm really pretty good at it. I kind of suck at liquid liner. But I'm going to just create a nice wing and kind of create it like however you're comfortable with. You don't really have to copy the same wing that I have, but I like to clean it up with some concealer after, and then actually bring that concealer down, and you can even set that with a powder. It helps kind of just clean up the mess that we have. And then I'm taking these Pacifica like liners, and I'm going to take a brown one and actually use that in the waterline. You could use a black one, but I thought black might be a little too harsh because I do have light colored eyes. And I'm going to just apply that all the way into the inner corner, and this way it will kind of just, you know, deepen up the look. I also like to take a black eyeshadow to set the eyeliner. This will just help deepen it up as well as make it stay all day. Then I'm going to curl my lashes and use my Stellar Gaze mascara from Pacifica and simply just apply that on my lashes. It's been one of my favorite mascaras for quite some time now. You guys have heard me talk about it a lot. I like to really focus on the roots of the lashes, and then it really helps to just kind of lengthen. This is one of my favorite mascaras because it doesn't clump on me like ever, and I love using it on the lower lashes. One of my biggest tips is actually taking the mascara and like swiggling it on the lower lash line, like not really at the roots but at the very tip. Now I'm taking the bronzer from the Solar palette and just going to apply that. If you take the brush this way where like the smaller fibers are kind of closer to the ear, it helps buff it in because those kind of work their way at buffing while the longer fibers are just blending away nicely. Now I'm actually going to apply that on the temples just to warm up my skin, and then I'm going to go in and apply the blush in there, which is actually a beautiful color, and lightly apply it because it is very, very pigmented, onto the apples of my cheeks, and I will bring it up my cheekbone a little bit. Now I'm going to take false lashes. I like to use these natural ones. If you guys want any of the information of all the products will be listed down below. And then I also went ahead and you know, apply the false lashes, but I also will go in and take the gel liner I was using and apply that over the lash like glue because sometimes it does not dry. Now I'm just going to go ahead and blend the lashes and like my lashes and the fake lashes together by just applying a coat of mascara. Then I'm going to go in with the highlight in here, and it's so beautiful, and apply that on my upper, like my cheekbone, just to kind of bring some light to my face. I also applied it on the nose and on my forehead a little bit, and then also definitely on my cupid's bow, just because I really do like to have a nice kind of glow from my skin. Then I'm going in with this Pacifica lipstick in Natural Mystic, and I'm just going to go ahead and use it on my lips. It's a really beautiful color, but I did want it to be very light to an extent, kind of like a stain, so I went in and used a towel just to kind of dab it once, and then I went in with the highlight shade that's in here that's kind of like a pink, and I applied that on the center of the lips, and this just really helped to blend the color and create a nice kind of gradient. Then I'm going in with my Fix Plus, as I always do. It's one of my biggest tips and tricks for your skin. Drench your face in it and then wait for it to get tacky, and once it gets tacky, kind of buff it in with any blender or like beauty blender you have, and then you have a really nice skin tone. It really pats down those baby hairs and also all the powder. So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Got me feeling like yeah.
That just poked me in the face.